take a look at quadrilaterals now, realize again that these are things that you know what they are. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a few moments, and in your little book, make sure that you write down this information, what a parallelogram is, and a kite. Now, there's some words that I want you to pay some attention to here, and those are things like exactly. Be careful when we're doing these things because it has to be exactly like this. Two pairs of consecutive sides are congruent. Because if it doesn't fit that, then it's not going to work as that. So, all right. So now that you got those down, I'll give you a few more moments, and I want you to get these taken out. All right. Now that we've got the properties, we need to be able to go and identify something when we see it. So, if I take a look at A, B, C, D, what is it? I mean, what is, yes. Okay, are you sure? Okay. Parallelogram. Could it be anything else? Well, yes, obviously. Quadrilateral. Parallelogram is right there. Is it a kite? Could it be a trapezoid? Okay. This is where these exactly's come into play. Exactly one pair of opposite sides. So if I take a look at this, the opposite sides are parallel, but I've got two pair of opposite sides, so it has to be just a parallelogram. So what about the next one there? What is that going to be? What do you got? Kite. So this one here is the kite. Could it be anything else? So, what would the next one be? Yes, ma'am? Trapezoid. Could it be anything else? Okay. What about the last one? What is it? Yes. Okay, so it's a rectangle. Could it be anything else? Parallelogram. Well, if we go back to what is a parallelogram has both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. If I have a rectangle, it says it's a parallelogram with 4 right angles. Okay, so it has to be a rectangle and a parallelogram. So, say I got quadrilateral ABC, and I need to draw it out, and each side measures 3 feet. Well, if I do something like this, are all of the sides relatively the same? Okay, so this should be all marked like this. We can put a 3 here. Okay. Do I have any other information going on with this? Each side measures 3, but if I got this little mark here, does that mean that they're all the same? Yes. The corners are what? Do we know anything about the angles? I don't know anything about the angles, so that's about all I could draw. Okay. Let's try the next one here. It says in quadrilateral, each angle measures 90 degrees. So I can do this. Put the little corners in there. Does that do it for me? Well, yeah, I could label it as W, X, Y, Z. I suppose I should have done that up here and called that A, B, C, D, right? Okay. So is there any other information that I could put down for B? No. What about the next one? It says a quadrilateral RSTU, ST is parallel to RU. So could I draw okay, so if this is going to be ST up here, this has to be RU down here, correct? So that means this goes that way and that goes that way. But I got that listed as parallel. Okay. Could have I done this? Why can't I? I got some of you shaking your heads. Do I have... Okay. All I've identified is that they're parallel. Have I done anything about saying what the length of RS is compared to TU? Have I done anything like that? No. So I can have it look like that as long as I've got those on there, it's fine. I didn't do anything with the angles. I didn't say that they're 90-degree angles, did I? Because if I would have put those in there, then I would have had to have identified this as a rectangle. So that's just going to be parallel. So again, it would be listed as a trapezoid because trapezoid, exactly one pair of opposite sides are parallel. And that's all I have there, is exactly one pair. So, what's the perimeter? If that's 3.5, is that 3.5? If that's 2, is that 2? So all I got to do is add them up, right? So could I go and take 5.5 and multiply that by 2? Oh, could I add this and that together? Oh, so you... Okay, but then I'd have to do this. I'd have to take... so that would be 4 plus, what, 7? Well, isn't that 11 as well? Again, there isn't just one way of doing it. As long as you go and find the total of the sides, you're okay. What about the area? What's the area equal to? Multiply what? So you want that multiplied by that? And what do I get? I get what? What's 2 times 3.5? Double it. 7. Yeah. Now, there's one last thing. This needs to be centimeters squared, and this needs to be just centimeters. Make sure that you use the appropriate labels. Yes. What do you mean? Well, that's generally going to be the case. And we got to understand, just because they're different numbers and one is bigger than the other doesn't mean there is a relationship between them. But it's not anything that you have to concern yourself with at this time. So, what about this? If I want the perimeter here, could I just go 4 multiplied by 5.5? Okay, so what would I get then? Double it and double it. Don't tell me I don't know, just 22. 22 what? Inches. What about area? Now, would it be easier for me to think of this as 5.5? So if that's going to be 5.5, that means it's going to be 5.5 multiplied by 5.5, which would be what? It's what? 27.5. 27.5 what? Inches squared. Okay. 5.5 times 5.5. A double check calculation. you know you're right. So why did he get 27.5? How did he do it? That's how he did it. So, it's supposed to be 30 point what? 25. You took 5 times 5.5, you forgot one. So, I'm going to give you a few moments and I want you to figure out what this is. So Jacob, what would you classify this quadrilateral as? Parallelogram. Is there anything else that you could classify it as? Has anybody got a thought that there might be? Nope. Not us. Why? Here, 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 and here. Those are marks that identify that all 4 of those sides are exactly the same. So make sure that you take into account all possible. So give you a few moments here. Get this one taken care of. Alright. So let's go. Cool. Let's see. So, can you tell me what I should draw? I gotta draw a quadrilateral, right? So, what kind of a quadrilateral should I draw? Okay, you want me to draw a rectangle, so I got that, and I assume that if you want me to have a rectangle, that these are all 90 degrees. This is parallel to this. This is parallel to this. And this is congruent to that. That's congruent to that, correct? Is there anything else that I need to take into account? Do I have to, if I'm sketching this out, do I have to make sure that I try and do that? Okay, so PQ is approximately twice as much as QR. So if I go P and Q here, and Q and R is down here, that would put S over here, correct? So is that approximately twice as long? Does that look like it? Is that a good picture of what we've got? Yeah. Completely and totally doable. So make sure that you do read it all through and follow. So, give you a minute or so and let you figure this one out. Yeah. I've got an Olympic-sized swimming pool here. It's a rectangle measuring 20 by 50. What is its perimeter? How much? 150 meters. Good. So let's see. Tristan, what is the area? Gotcha. Well, what are you supposed to do? Well, you didn't read all the instructions and see that there was supposed to be area as well? 50 was at 90. Well, then she'll have to phone a friend. So, Hannah, what do you got? 1,250 meters. You want it like that? Square. Okay, I didn't hear you. Somebody else must have overran that. So, good. So, I'm going to give you a minute to take care of this one. Four point three. So Hannah, what you got as the area of the square? Oh, sorry, perimeter then first. Okay. And we will spread this out. And Aaliyah. Good. Easy enough, right? All right, so you got the remainder of time to get things done, and let's do it at the end of class 20.